6'3", 215, a senior from Douglasville, Georgia, playing at Auburn. Reached up and slapped it down.
Georgia's offense is particularly in their passing offense, is not a sophisticated type. They live by the run. Their passing is not fancy. When they get behind, they normally get into trouble.
Well, they are in trouble right now with 13.5 minutes to play in this football game. 3rd down and 7 for the Bulldogs. Lastinger under pressure, gets his pass away, and it is incomplete, intended for Kevin Harris, overthrown and a penalty flag. It's back up around the line of scrimmage on the far side of the field.
It's a penalty against Georgia.
Somebody started too soon.
Will be declined.
Bring up 4th down and 7, and Georgia will have to kick it away.
Harris, number 20, doesn't have that blazing speed, but he runs precise routes. As you see, he gets open momentarily, but the ball is high. Warren, number 45, was carried. Arch is a man who goes in motion. He jumps the count momentarily, but once he gets started, he has to stay set for 1 full second, and he did.
The 8th Georgia punt. Good. Trey Gaines, fair catch at the 34. So the Tigers will have good field position. They're on 34 after the 40-yard punt, leading by 13.
Chevy Top is taking charge. Compare S10 Maxi Cab to Datsun King Cab, and you'll see Chevy S10 has
Maxi room,
50% more rear load space,
Maxi payload,
more payload than King.
The teams put the undefeated Southeastern Conference records on the line. The reward for Georgia, their 4th straight SEC title, and a Sugar Bowl bid. For Auburn, a share of its first SEC title since 1957.
With 13:21 to play in the football game, Auburn now figures to stay on the ground and just challenge Georgia.
Keith, to follow up, Georgia's got to make something happen by taking chances, something dramatic.
Inside, Lionel James on a little counter, and he moves it from the 34 out to the 40.
Looked like for a moment that James was going to make a long run. The hole opened up, but Georgia defense reacted very beautifully and recovered and made the tackle.
That's Todd Williams warming up on the sidelines. He came on in relief of Lastinger back in the 2nd quarter. Lastinger just hasn't been able to make anything happen. 2nd down, 4. James out. Allen Evans, number 33, in replacing him. Campbell stands up, quick release to the sidelines. Chris Wood gets the 1st down for Auburn on the Georgia side of the field, near the 45. Tony Flack making the play. He had given him a lot of cushion.
When you have an experienced quarterback like Campbell, you look up and you see the Georgia's quarterback giving a 10-yard cushion. You change the play. You tell Woods to go out and catch the ball and make the 1st down. The easy way to do it. You don't see the Georgia defensive back Flack come into the play until Woods had turned out and made extra yardage.
Campbell now is 10 out of 13, 79. He's hit 7 in a row. Bo Jackson. Did he fumble? Georgia says yes. The officials don't.
Well, Auburn fumbling, preventing the fumbles is something outstanding on the wishbone. Let's watch it again. This is a pitch sweep. Jackson's favorite play. Scored twice against Florida on this one play. He cuts back. Once his shoulder or any part of his body touches the ground other than his legs or his hands, while he's in possession of the ball, it's a dead ball. And I believe that's what happened, Keith. He was on the ground when the ball popped out.
2nd down, 7. Ball at the Georgia 41. Jackson hammers over the left side. Big 226-pounder. And he's close to a 1st down at the Georgia 35. Oh, he's strong. Georgia Tech beating Wake Forest today. And Penn State scored in the last seconds of that ball game to beat Notre Dame 34-30. Big day for Kenny Jackson and a big day for Alan Pinkett. And Syracuse in the Dome beat Boston College 21-10. Jack McNeil had worried about that game for weeks.
Syracuse.
Sure enough, he was right.
Keith, Syracuse has had a good football team. They've played everybody close.
Third down, a knee to foot. They call on Lionel James to get it. And the spot they give him is over the 35, and that will be good for the first down. 10 minutes and 39 seconds to play in the football game. Jackson now has carried 14 times for 104 yards. James has carried 10 times for 81 yards.
Georgia would like to get a fumble, but Auburn last year in 12 games only lost the ball turnovers 14 times. This year, they've turned the ball in 9 games over 14 times also, only 28 in 2 years. Remarkable, remarkable achievement.
Right it off to Agee, the fullback. Campbell keeps it, and Campbell runs it to the sidelines, and he picks up close to 8 yards on the carry.
Georgia's captain, Tommy Thurston, had Campbell for no gain, but Campbell just faked him. Thurston went to the ground. Campbell picked up the good yardage. Couldn't play any better. All Thurston had to do was make the tackle, and he couldn't do it. Here's the offensive backfield of Auburn. You can see how they share their responsibilities, the carries, the yardage, and the wishbone. That is what we are accustomed to seeing.
Knox Culpepper right now in the ball game, the leading tackler for Georgia, came in with 116. He's added 17 today. That's Bo Jackson cutting it up the middle and getting down to about the 21. For another Auburn first down. Gary Cantrell, the junior from Atlanta, brought him down. Cantrell playing the rover spot in place of the injured Terry Hogue.
The play starts to the right. It comes back to Auburn's left. Georgia defense are pursuing very quickly, trying to stop the play. It's an excellent call, something that is good, particularly in the fourth quarter when Georgia is trying to get the ball away from them.
Ball is actually closer to the 22. Off to Agee, the fullback. The offensive line surge escorts him for about 3 yards.
If we look at Vince Dooley, had a fantastic career here at Georgia.
Yeah, but he's got a grim look on his face, Frank, because if he heard these numbers, Auburn has run the ball for 260 yards today, Georgia for 49.
Georgia had only given up 104 yards average per game in the first 9 games. Here's Pat Dye, turn the Auburn program around.
Second down and 6 for Auburn. At the Georgia 18, Campbell throws it up. Ball is popped up in the air and caught by an Auburn man, Bo Jackson. And Jackson takes it to the 15.
Very alert Bo Jackson, who was faking off. Georgia defensive people are going to jump up and knock the little quick pass down. Campbell is going to try to throw quickly. Georgia looks like, yes, it's Gilbert who deflected the ball, but Jackson sees it coming back towards him, and he runs up, catches it, and makes a couple of yards. Number 34, Bo Jackson.
Well, you got to call it a completion, don't you?
Yes, you do.
8 in a row for Campbell. Third down and 4. James. They hit him behind the line of scrimmage, Tommy Thurston. But Thurston could only get one arm on him, and he couldn't hold him. And he runs it down to about the 13. He's a yard short of his first down. It brings up 4th down. He's actually 2 yards short of it. And in comes Al Del Greco, who has kicked 2 field goals already. He puts his tee down at the 20. He has now moved into the lead as Auburn's all-time leading scorer and all-time career kicking leader as well. Mike Mann holds it. Del Greco nails it, but he hooked it. He had it way up in the air and into the crowd, but he hooked it out of the upright. So he misses from 30 yards with 7:02 to play in
throughout this game.
Georgia first down with Todd Williams in at quarterback now, replacing Lastinger, puts it up, it is deflected, it is intercepted by Jeff Jackson, the linebacker. Ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage that took all of the zip out of it, and it fell right into the arms of Jeff Jackson.
Well, Georgia has to go to the passing game, but they go to it. play-action pass. It doesn't fool Auburn at all. The linebackers did not take the fake. They're right in the line of fire of the pass. It's deflected there, and Jackson, number 42, who was an outside linebacker last year, moved to the inside and made a fine interception.
And Auburn is in business now, looking for the door slammer on the Georgia 34. First down for the Tigers. Inside goes Bo Jackson. Campbell and the fullback, Agee, work so close to the line of scrimmage, don't they?
Keith, that's the strength of the wishbone. When the fullback hits right up behind the guard, the quarterback puts the ball in his stomach, the defense reacts to it, and that is what makes the outside play so potent as we look at Jeff Jackson, who just made that interception.
Gain was 2 yards. It is second down and 8. That's Bill Lewis, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, in the dark shirt there. On second and 8, Campbell goes to the air with it, hits Buford, and Buford runs it inside the 20, fights his way on down to about the 17, and an Auburn first down. Darrell Jones, the tackle.
Pat Dye told me that he lets Campbell change the play at the line of scrimmage anytime that he sees something that might work. Once again, Georgia's cornerback playing very deep, very soft, gave too much cushion to the Auburn receiver Buford. There's the score by quarters.
Ball at the 18 where they mark it. And first down for the Tigers. 5:54 to play in the game. Clock running. He's checked it again. Rides it off to his fullback. Pitches wide to Jackson. And Georgia cuts him down. Coming across, Charlie Dean with a rolling block, taking the feet from under Jackson.
Here's exactly what Pat Dye predicted for the ball game. Randy Campbell is a winner. He has those intangibles, and he had a great game today. 12 out of 15 for 95 yards. Last 8 in a row.
He said 9 in a row.
9 in a row, yes.
Ball just short of the 15. Second down, short 8, long 7. Jackson again, dives in there.
The Georgia defense continues to fight valiantly. They've been put in very difficult positions by the Georgia offense. Ineffectiveness. Hard to stay out on the field for the whole ball game and stop a team like Auburn that has the backs that are breakaway threats on any down.
From the 13, third down and 5 for the Tigers. Lionel James into the stack right about the line of scrimmage.
Just setting up the field goal. If they didn't make the first down, putting the ball directly in front of the goalpost.
Del Greco comes in. El missed from 30 a few minutes ago. And they let the clock tick along, using all the time they can. They got a pretty good break because that 25-second clock didn't reset for about 3 seconds. This will be another 30-yard try. He's hit from 20, hit from 41, and missed from 30 today. He hooked that one out, too. His last 2 kicks have been hooked left to the uprights. And so Auburn, in that particular possession, succeeded only in using up about 1 minute and 40 seconds of time.
The greater the value of your home and possessions, the greater the risks. At Fireman's Fund, we have a special way of insuring those risks by getting to know them from the inside, from your perspective, and from the broad perspective as well, which may be why so many people with high-valued homes find the protection they need under the fire hat.
John Lastinger has come back. Vince Dooley has been rotating his quarterbacks now, trying to find some lightning in the arm of one or the other. 3:35 to play in the ball game. Lastinger, very quickly, Kevin Harris dives for the marker and looks to have it across the 30 for a Bulldog first down.
Georgia has to rely on desperation passes now. Just go to the air virtually every down. Auburn will be playing for this, mixing up some rushing, but mostly defended and conceding the short throws.
Gets away from the pressure quickly to Archie, puts him out there. He was one-on-one for a while, but then it suddenly became 4-on-1, and good night, Herman. Looking through the book, the last time you find Georgia having been shut out was 1979, Virginia. 31-0 in that particular instance. But Auburn just may do it today with only 3:03 to play in the ball game.
To some, the breakup of AT&T is a shattering event. But Merrill Lynch know-how can make it your lucky break. Our top-ranked research team studied AT&T from top to bottom. We can help you make the right move. Manage 8 stocks, keep some, sell some, or move into our special AT&T stock fund. Now that opportunity is knocking, take advantage of a real break. Call Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
To earn the name Marathon is to overcome a grueling array of endurance tests. Now from Xerox, the 1020 Marathon copier. A desktop copier with advanced microelectronics and features you'd expect to find on larger copiers. The most inexpensive copier Xerox has ever introduced is built to run and run and run.
When he took the hit, the ball popped loose, but they called him down.
Lane is the fastest of the Georgia receivers. He's going to get open, and he finds himself right between the linebackers, and Lastinger makes a good throw. Now, the rule is that once his body touches the ground, the ball is dead if he has possession of it, and he did.
Jeff Jackson that nailed it. First down, Bulldogs, they're 47. 2.5 minutes to play. The pass intended for Kevin Harris is incomplete.
Auburn, in this circumstance, will just drop back. The linebackers lined up 5 yards deep. The cornerback's 12. The safety man about 25 yards deep. Concede Georgia the short pass, make the tackle the minute they catch the ball if they do complete it.
Auburn's only stumbled this year, lost to Texas in the second game by a score of 20-7. They were down 20-0 at halftime in that ball game. Lastinger dropping back to throw, goes to the sideline, pass incomplete, bounced in front of the intended receiver Kevin Harris.
Teams that run the football, live by the run, have a difficult time playing catch-up football. But Vince Dooley's teams, this particular senior class, have won 41 games, lost 3, and tied 1 without having a sophisticated passing attack. But they're behind 2 touchdowns virtually now, and they're in trouble.
2.5 minutes exactly to play in the game. It is 3rd down and 10 for Georgia from their own 47. Sideline pattern, tumbles out of bounds, catching the ball. It is Fred Lane, and it's a first down for Georgia on the Auburn side of the field.
Good.
Auburn backing up now, playing some defense.
Excuse me, Keith, a good throw by Lastinger. Lane is going to get on the boundary so that if he catches the pass, he can step right out of bounds and stop the clock. He has 1 foot in bounds while he has control of the football.
Auburn dropping to cover. You're able to pick up that 10 to 15-yard zone normally pretty well when the team's playing off the ball. Here's Lastinger's pass down the middle. Lane is wide open. And Lane is brought down inside the 15 at the 13. If he hadn't lost his balance, he might have scored. That is the deepest penetration by Georgia all day.
The blitz, watch on the left. You see the blitz coming, but Lastinger stepped up and hits Lane right in the middle, which is the weak part of the defense. The strong safety Powell, number 9, was beaten on the play. Lane makes the big catch and gives Georgia a chance.
With 2:16 to play.
Here's Lane. He's being covered man for man by number 9. Number 9, Powell, starting for the first time this year, is beaten on the play very badly. The ball is laid up right perfectly for the catch. Lane tries to dodge Warren, but couldn't do it. Keith, that That was the first time that Auburn has tried to rush Georgia in this circumstance. They got caught beating man on man.
I don't think they will do it again.
No, I don't believe they will.
Those are the games that are set for the future. Army-Navy on Friday the 25th, day after Thanksgiving, in the Rose Bowl, Pasadena. Then on November 26th, we'll have Texas and Texas A&M, and the Aggies are getting their act together. Won't be an easy trip for the Horns to Aggie land. And then Saturday, December 3rd, 3:30 Eastern Time, Auburn and Alabama. And a Sugar Bowl trip for Auburn on the line.
If Georgia can score here and get the onside kick to both extra points, they could win this ball game.
Got to score the first one first. Lastinger to the corner. He's got a man. Touchdown. Herman Archie.
Number 81 is going to go inside and back to the corner. We call it a flag route. Number 9, Powell, a mismatch. He's a strong safety. He's beaten on the play. He cannot defend. The ball is thrown high. Archer, 6'5", and Height pulls it in for the touchdown.
Kevin Butler for the extra point try. Jimmy Harrell holds it. Brad Ansley snaps it. And the kick is good. So you've got 2 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the football game. Auburn's lead now is cut to 6. To have wet palms right now is Al Del Greco, who missed 2 30-yard field goals.
And Keith Kevin.
Auburn's got 12 men on the field.
They've got 12 men. They sure do. But
2, 4, 5, 7, 10, 11.
No, they just got
they got one of them more. There's your onside kick. Bobbing around. Georgia's got it at the 45. Great job of Golden Glory, I'll tell you. David Painter comes up with the ball.
Kevin Butler is an expert. I was going to tell you that before the kick. I didn't get a chance. He's an expert at making the ball bounce up in the air after it hits the ground to give his players a chance. Watch Butler roll the ball, hit it right on the top. It goes way up in the air. Auburn comes out. Their tight end, number 82. Parks tries to get it. He misses it.
Painter came out of there with it. It's Georgia's ball, first down at their own 46. Now the Auburn defense digs in. They've pretty well controlled Georgia all day, and they missed the sack, but they finally get it. Number 93, Quincy Williams, was really on a roll there. John Daly missed him, and that's Painter who recovered the onside kick. But Georgia's quarterback, Lastinger, is decked back at the 42. So once again, the Auburn defensive unit makes a big play. Second down, 14. Lastinger back. Has better protection this time. His pass is away short to Tron Jackson, and out of bounds he goes. He picked up about 2 yards on the play.
Auburn, in the last 2 weeks, has faced 2 outstanding passes in Wayne Peace and Esiason from Maryland, giving up over 300 yards to both of them. So
the Auburn secondary can be burned.
yes, they can.
You can see that. But Georgia doesn't have the passing game to do it. At least they haven't had to this point, with 1 minute and 37 seconds to play in the game. 1:37. 13-7 Auburn. Georgia with the ball. Third down and 13. Lastinger getting pressure. Gets it off to Fred Lane. He's out there with 2 people. No place to go. Greg Carr locks him at the 39. And Georgia is backing up now, losing on that play, and calls timeout with 1:29 to play.
As we look at Pat Tye, who had this football game as seemingly won, and now he's threatening. Georgia is threatening. What's going through his mind? He's trying to keep his poise. He's trying to get his defense lined up properly, not to be rattled, trying to calm them down and play what they do best. He's got to keep his poise. He cannot be thinking about the national championship, a possibility, the Sugar Bowl, or whatever. He's got to get his defense settled down so that they can play their best effort on these last.
He's in pretty good shape, Frank. He's looking at, Georgia's looking at 4th down and 16. They have no timeouts remaining and 1 minute and 29 seconds to play in the game. I like Auburn's chances.
Auburn defense has really risen to the occasion, as we say in football. You get your backs to the wall, and they came out and have stopped Georgia with a sack and 2 very short passes, losing a few yards. Georgia will have to go deep down to the intermediate routes.
They've got to go 16 yards. Glassfinger has it over the middle, and it is almost intercepted, almost picked off. Batted down by Jimmy Warren, and Auburn takes over Georgia now with no timeouts remaining and 1 minute 23 to play in the football game.
Auburn can take 25 seconds to put each play, down into play, and therefore they will not have to punt the ball and give it up to Georgia. They'll just fall on it.
Well, it was the kind of a football game that I think everybody expected, right?
I agree with you, Keith. And when you look at Pat Dye, I asked Pat, what are the winning things, the keys to winning? Win the battle of turnovers, win the battle of penalties, the kicking game, and conversion downs. And Auburn has done that.
All right, that gets the clock rolling. And it'll just keep on rolling because Georgia has no timeouts to kill it.
And Keith, we'll be in Birmingham when Auburn lines up against Alabama.
The biggest win in Pat Dye's career at Auburn, this being his 3rd year there, was his 23-22 win over Alabama last year. This will be the next big win for the Auburn program. The Prudential College scoreboard coming up in just 50 seconds. Clock continuing to run. Here's your second snap. They'll have to snap it one more time. Randy Campbell. Big day for Campbell. All week long, Frank, I felt that Campbell would be the man, and he turned out to be exactly that. He is Auburn's most valuable player. Georgia's most valuable player is Knox Culpepper, who had 20 tackles, now has 136 on the season. Campbell, 12 out of 15, 95 yards, hit 9 in a row. He ran for 35 yards on 15 carries. So the respective universities of Georgia and Auburn will receive, in the names of their MVPs, $1,000 from Chevrolet for their General Academic Scholarship Fund. And as the clock ticks away, the Auburn...